Alright, in this video we are going to talk about radical functions. Uh, Radical function. Um, we talk about the quadratic function, linear functions, and so for rational function. Uh, so today we are going to talk about the radical function and the domain and range. So suppose that the simplest one is this one. So what you usually do when you want to graph this, you give value to x and find y value. And then you input table, output table, this is input x and the output here is. So you have to choose x that if you square root of that is going to be a number, not a decimal. It's better with just an integer, And so let's see how if we say if we zero, if we give zero, first of all let's start from -1. See how it works. It's gonna be -1. It's imaginary number, we'll talk about that later. So you can't put, because it has a positive index 2 even. You can't use minus here. So you gotta use something like 1. If it's 1, it's gonna be 1. Because the square root of 1 is 1. And then the second one is going to be 4. Okay. So you got to choose a number that when you get the square root of that, is going to be a integer. So choose what number you choose. Is like 4 and then 9, 16, 4, 9, 16, 25. See, the square root of all these is a integer. So what you choose? You choose 4 and then 9. 4 is going to be the square root of 4 is going to be 2, and the square root of 9 is going to be 3. Let's draw this. See, is 1 and 1. We have a point here, and then 4 x. See, this is 1, 1. You know that is always x. This is y. You put the x first. X is 1, y is 1, 4 is 2, and 9 is 3. So x 1, 1, 4, 2, 4, 2, 2 is here. It's going to be here. Okay? The second point. The third point, 9. Oh, this is 5, and then, well, you don't have to find the other one. But, you can use not 9, you can use 6, for example. You find out what is the square root of 6. You just put it in the calculator and you want, this is if it's 6, what's going to be? It's going to be 2.5, almost 2.5. So if it's 6, if it's here, it's going to be 2.5. It's going to be this 2.5. 6 is 2.5 here. So if you connect these lines, you're going to get something like this. So this is the graph of this radical function. It's 2.5 and this was 2 and this is 1, this is 3. So you know, now to see what it looked like, you see that if you give a number -3, what's going to happen? Y is equal to radical -3. You can't do that because you know you don't get any answer because it's the index is 2. So you can't give any number that less than 0. If you give, it's going to be minus, and you know there is no answer for that. I mean, you know, it's not it cannot be a real number. So what is going to be the domain? See, the domain is the value that x can get. All the value that x can get. It's so we can give -5 up to here. So the value that x can get is 0, 0 included, up to plus infinity. So this is the domain of this, because the value of x, and you see that the x-axis, you see what value is going to be in this domain. If you put any number here, you will get the answer. And this is 2.5 almost. You know, you write this like that. Look. Okay. So what is the range? Range is the value of y that it can have. Still, you can't have -1. You can't put -1 here. If you put -1 here is equal to radical x1, what does that mean? You know, it doesn't make sense here. So you can't give minus number to y. So you have to start from 0 from up there. So the range is going to be from 0, which includes 0, up to plus infinity. From the lowest part of the value that x can get to the highest is plus infinity. So this is the domain and range and how to graph this one. But let's make it a little bit more complicated. It's going to be, we say, x plus 3. How do you graph this? Okay. What do you... you give value to x and find the y value. You're going to give to x that makes it a squared, you know, like see here, you got to put something like, it should be either 1, no, let's see, we try all these, you know, inside it will be either 1, 4, 9, 16, or, you know, any other 25 and so on, you know, 5 or 36. Is 2 dot 2 times 2, 3 times 3. So we are going to make this one, what is going to add them? We are going to add a number like 6 is going to be 9. If it's 6, y is equal to square root of 9 is going to be 3. And if you put 4, if you put 1 here is going to be y is equal to 1 plus 3 is going to be 4, is going to be 2. 4 square root of 4 is going to be 2. So if you have these 2 points, and then one of the things that you got to notice that if you this underneath under the radical, it cannot be, it should be x plus 3 either greater or equal to 0. I mean, it could be 0, but it could be a positive number. It could be this one, as we talked about it, it could be a positive number, so we can get the square root of that. If negative number, it cannot. So what's going to happen? We say x greater or equal minus 3. Okay, it can be here, minus 3 and larger, whatever, greater, whatever, 2, 3, 10, minus 1, minus 2 is larger than minus 3, so it can be any number, either minus 3 or greater than minus 3. So let's find the other. So we can put 0 here, or let's put something that makes it, even we can put x minus 2, for example. It's going to be y minus 2 plus 3 is equal, it's going to be 1. We have 2x is going to be 1y. How about we put another number in the 0. Y is equal to 0 plus 3. These two are under the radicant, you know. It's going to be 1 point something, you know, at least is a number. So .73, we say. So let's draw this. Draw this graph. We got the point. We got 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4 points. This one is 6 and 3, 1 and 2, and minus 2, 1, and 0. 1.73. Then we get the value for x, we find y, now we graph it. If it's 0, 0, 0 and x 0 is going to be 1.73. This is 1 point, this is 2, and 1.73 is going to be something like here. Okay? So this point here is one of the points. Now we said minus 2. If it's minus 2, y is going to be 1. It's going to be 1 here. If 1 is going to be 2. Here. So we cannot give less than minus 3 because under the radical is going to be negative and we can't do that. So what happens, if we connect these two, no, I'm sorry, 2 minus 2, the second point is here. Minus 2 and 1. And then 1, let's see if I, no. See, 6 and 3. x6 is going to be 3. 1 is going to be 2. 1 is going to be 2. So it is 2, this is 1, it's going to be here. Well, so we have some point now. We have, let's put another point here. We have, we start from here the point, and it's going to be like this. See, the point at the start, if you set this one under the radical is greater or equal to 0, then you get x is going to be, it must be greater or equal to -3, any number. -2, -1 is going to be anything greater than, or 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 100, whatever, it's greater than -3. So this is going to look like that. And what's the domain and range? The domain and range. See, the domain is the value of x. Minimum value of x30, that is the start. From there, it's going to be -3 up to plus infinity. Because the value that x can get, and you see on the x-axis to see where, what value you can give to x. You see, it said start from -3, which included -3, and then infinity. What is the range? Range, the value of y. The value of y, we cannot say -3, -4, it is not going to be this one minus, it can't be. So it start from here. It start from here, it's going up. Actually, it start from 0, which is so from y 0 to infinity, yeah. So plus infinity. So whatever above this one, if I start from 0, you can get 0 to 0. 0 is going to be whatever you give value to y. It can be 0. This one can be 0, and then larger than, greater than 0. It's going to 1, whatever it's going to be. So start from 0. So this is the range of this function. So how about this one? Just where here it says y is equal to x plus 3 plus 2. We have the same thing, but we have a 2 here. This what is actually happens, that this one is started from 2, 1, 2 here. From here, and then it's going to go one of the point. I mean, if x is 0, if x is 0, I'm sorry. If x is 0, then we have, I want to know that whenever you find the y-intercept, you got to set x to 0, and if you want to x-intercept, you got to set y to 0. Let's draw this one. Before that, tell you if this is a minus, so x minus 3 greater than 0, x is greater than 3. So actually this one is going to start from here, going there. You know what I mean? You see the difference? This is the minus and plus. See, you set this one to greater or equal to 0, and then you find, well, this is going to be greater than 3. This is greater than minus 3. So this is the, now you have y is equal x minus 3. Suppose that y, well, let's, y is equal x plus 2 plus 2. So what it means, now if you have to find the point that is where does it start? Where does this one start? See, actually, when you see something like that, x plus 2, 0x plus 2 minus 2, so minus 2 and 2 is going to be the point that this gonna start, because we have a 2 point. Otherwise, if you have a like x plus that, it could be started from here and graph it, but now we have 2 here. So what is going to be, we locate this point, minus 2 here, and plus 2. It's going to be here. Okay, this is the, and then you can write, you know, it's going to be going that way, but that's where, you always can find the intersect of this one if you set x is equal to 0, you know. Okay, y x plus 2 plus 2. This is outside this radical. This is 2 is x plus 2 inside the radical, and that one outside. So let's see. What we know that the first point is going to start from here. We find this point that we will talk about more later. You know that what in other functions that similar to this, we'll explain that later. So let's find, say x is equal to whatever we say. It is equal, if you get x is equal to 2, it's going to be 4, and y is equal 4 plus 2 is going to be 2 plus 2 is going to be 4. If we give 7y is going to be 7 plus 2 is going to be the square root of 9 plus 2 is going to be 3 plus 2 is going to be 5. It's going to be 5. So let's, with these 2 points, we can graph this function. If x is equal to 2, y is going to be 4. So here, another point. Oh, then we have 7, 6, and 7, 7. It's going to be 5. And you go there, and then you just graph this one. This is going to be like that. Y is equal to square root x plus 2 plus 2. This one. And that one was y is equal to x plus 3. See, how do we find the domain and range of these? Let's y is equal to x plus 2 plus 2. What is the range and domain? The range, you know, start from minus 2. It's going to be more than minus 2 to the domain, which shows the value of x can get this function is minus 2 or greater than. So it's going to use this bracket, the square bracket, say -2 up to plus infinity. And you should always show infinity by parentheses. And then the range, what is going to be the range? The range is going to be the value of y that it can get. And it's going to be from here up to there. Okay, it's going to be this is 2, so it's going to be 2 okay, and then plus infinity. From 2 to infinity, and this one, the one for this one is going this way, 2 up to plus infinity. So these are the things that about radical functions. So how about if this is -2? See, the point is going to be -2, -2, -2, -2. It starts from here and it goes there. You know, this way you can find where is the first point. So y is equal to x plus 4 minus 2 is going to be -4, because x plus 4 is greater than 0, x minus 4, so it's going to be -4, and -2 is going to be, see, it's going to be this point, and it's going to start from going that way. So always you can put, if you find the value for x, you can find y, and that's the way you see. For example, like this one, if say x is equal to 0, y is x 0, y radical 2. We were talking about it was this one. X, y is x plus 2. This is going to be, the y is going to be 0 plus 2 is going to be, square root of 2 is going to be 1.41 something. And if y is equal to 0, radical x plus 2 is going to be equal to 0, x plus 2. So if we raise both of them to the power, you know, both sides to the power of 2, then we can eliminate y, because x plus 2 squared is equal to 0 squared, which is 0, and so it's going to be x plus 2 is equal to 0, x is equal to -2. So at this one here, when it shows here, it shows this one, y is equal to 0 and y